Dating back to the Franklin Roosevelt administration, the concept of affirmative action at its core would seem to be exactly what a nation needs. Laws to affirm there is no discrimination when it comes to education and employment, to ensure that everyone gets a fair shake at succeeding, that no matter male or female, any color, you will have the equal opportunity to live the American dream. But there's a battle working its way through the Supreme Court that seeks to prove what was once a good idea has become subverted and modified to fit political agendas. And in the end is what America does not need if we are seeking to push people to not be entitled, but to fight for those things that will make them smarter and able to stand on their own. Our guest is co-chairman of the Project 21 National Advisory Board, a black conservative activism group calling for an end to race-based admissions in higher education, finding it no longer makes America smarter or a better nation. Horace Cooper. Horace, I want to thank you so much for joining us. And if you would, start out by telling us about the case involved here, which is Abigail Noel Fisher versus the University of Texas at Austin.
Good evening. Thanks for having me on the program. And the case that's going to be going before the Supreme Court is a very, very important one for us to look at. The basic question is this: should a school allow a difference to be made in terms of who gets admitted based not on who's the smartest, who's the hardest working, or who has some exceptional experience that they can bring to the school for purposes of admission, but instead simply their skin color. Now, if you thought we had answered this question with the 1954 Brown v. Board Supreme Court landmark civil rights case, you'd be mistaken. Because now, instead of a law that says you can't come here because of your dark skin color, we're now looking at rules in the case of the University of Texas, which is saying you can't come here unless you have dark skin color. In this particular case, Abigail Fisher applied to the university, and she asked this simple question when she was denied: why were other applicants allowed to be admitted who scored worse than I did, whose academic record was worse than mine, and whose apparently only difference was that person's skin color? Affirmative action was a kind of special treatment, but it was never supposed to be quotas. You know the kind of special treatment it was supposed to be? You go to schools and you find really talented and capable people and you sell them on coming to your university. That's what good football coaches do. That's what good band coaches do. They recruit exceptionally talented people and they sell them on the advantages of coming to that university.
I got about 90 seconds left here. Is this then, in your opinion and your group's opinion, simply being driven by left-wing political correctness? They've got to get a quota, they've got to get the agenda in here, and damn the white student. This is all about agenda.
This is all about agenda, and it's about being lazy, and it's not actually helping to create diversity. It's not helping to create opportunity. It is crippling people unnecessarily, and it fundamentally violates the idea that in America, everybody has the opportunity. No one is given favor based on race, color, creed, or some other aspect about them that they have no control over.
Is it in many ways helping us become a slightly less intelligent nation because we are then keeping out some of the smarter people who really want to do it on their own, want to push ahead, yet they're stopped simply because of skin color?
Well, we are limiting the greatest and the smartest and the most capable when we stop having that as the criteria, and we're doing something else that's also sinister when you bring subpar people in and they compete against exceptional people, whether it's on the racetrack, whether it's on the field. They learn a bad lesson. You can tell who the poor performer will be based on their skin color. That's the opposite message that we ought to be trying to give.
I want to remind everybody once again that the date for oral arguments at the Supreme Court, it has not been announced at this point. A decision expected by June 2016. If you want to learn more about this and what the movement is trying to get accomplished, go to nationalcenter.org, find out more, read about it, and find out how affirmative action needs to mean affirmative for everybody in America. Horace Cooper, I want to thank you so much for joining us. A story that education we will continue to follow up on and stay in touch. Thank you so much for your time. Check it out, read it, learn it, understand it. Stay with us. The fastest 60 minutes of news continues.